The absolute last thing that you want to do is leave one toxic employer for another. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 15 red flags that you should consider before accepting any offer letter. And if you see any of these, it might be your time to respectfully bow out of the interview process. So let's get started. So hi there, if you don't know me, my name is Mercedes. I'm an executive recruiter and a career coach and an HR professional, and I use my knowledge to help Black professionals succeed in their careers. And of course, as I mentioned today, I'm going to be sharing with you 15 red flags that you absolutely need to pay attention to in your application and review process, and make sure that you consider these strongly before you accept an offer. And make sure that you stay until the end of this video, because after I share all 15 of these tips, I'm going to share another really amazing tip. It's going to help you pick up on some of these red flags in the interview process before you accept your offer letter, and that is definitely the key. So let's get right into our 15 red flags. Okay, so the first one is no diversity or inclusion initiatives. Especially if you are a Black professional, which you probably are if you're here. If there are no initiatives going around, or they're not making any proactive approaches to racism, systemic racism, or anything like that about creating an inclusive environment or hiring and attracting more diverse people into their workforce, it's probably not somewhere that you want to work. Number 2. No professional development opportunities. So if you go into an interview and they aren't able to tell you what your career path may look like in this company or what your next steps may be, it's probably because they don't have a plan for you. Okay? Number 3, lowballing an offer. If they give you an offer that's way below what you're currently making, or they actually give you an offer that's at the low end of that salary range that was posted, you definitely want to be careful with you, because this could be the very first time they lowball you, but not the last. Number 4 is kind of similar. It's where they actually offer you a lower salary and tell you that there's all of these really great incentives around performance or sales or whatever. Be really careful about that, because sometimes it's really stacked against you where you are definitely not going to make those incentives. So if they're doing that, just be really careful. Number 5 is it is a whole scam, okay? So if you can't locate anything about the company, they don't have a website, you're not really sure how to find them, and there's not really reputable information about them online, there might not actually be an employer, and there's a lot of people out there just trying to get your information by having you sign an offer and going through their onboarding process. Number 6 is that they have no interview process or a very limited or fast interview process. So it's really concerning if somebody's not really that concerned about whether you're going to be a really good fit for their company or not. And it either means that they probably don't really care who they hire, or they're going to be really easy, or it's going to be really easy to kind of like get you out of the door quick. Number 7. Concerning keywords, okay? If you read through a position description or you go to an interview and they're telling you things like, we're fast-paced, we're highly productive, we're very competitive, that probably means that they probably have either a toxic or hostile work environment, or they have really high expectations that will have your work-life balance being like, no. Number 8 is online reviews. So there's a lot of different areas and places that disgruntled employees or people who have left can leave reviews. So make sure you go check those out and see what the ratio of good to bad reviews are. Every company is going to have some or one or the other, but if you see it's overwhelmingly negative, be careful. You can see reviews on Glassdoor, you can see them on Indeed, and you can also see them on Google. So just check those before you accept an offer. Number 9, professional behavior and personality. So if you go to an interview and they're not really excited that you're there, they're not professional, they're curt, or they're not really respectful of you or your time, it's probably going to be indicative of what it is to work there. Right? Number 10, turnover, okay? If they have a whole bunch of positions, like 50 positions posted, and they're a really small company, then it could be that they have really high turnover and they can't retain people. And that means people are leaving for a reason. So always ask questions about that. You might be really surprised about what you hear. Hey. Hey, don't forget to subscribe. If you like me, just a little bit. Don't forget. 11, work hours. Okay, they may give you a really great salary or really great benefits, but your work hours may be not ideal or what you're looking for. So just make sure that you ask specifically about what the work hours are and that it really meets your needs. That could go either way, right? It could be less hours than you anticipated working if you're not in a salaried position, or they could be asking you or expecting you to work 10 or 12-hour days when that's really not what you're looking for. Number 12 is lack of clarity regarding the role. So they may have posted very little details, or if you ask questions about the position or what you would be expected to do in this position, they may not be able to give you details. And that's a pretty good sign that they're either unorganized or maybe an unscrupulous company, that may be a scam, or it's just not going to set you up for success because they're not really going to be able to really provide you onboarding or know what you're doing in that position. So that's a really big red flag. Number 13 is bait and switch. So there's a lot. But if you go and you apply for a position and when you go to interview, they're telling you about a completely different position that doesn't really make sense based on what you applied to, that's probably also another red sign that they are not really hiring what they said they were, that they're unorganized, that they won't be trustworthy, and they won't treat you well and be transparent while you're an employee as well. And so I've seen this where they post for a full-time position, but it's really part-time. Number 14, benefit offerings. Okay, sometimes people try and, skirt those benefit offerings under the rug. Just be careful. Again, what I said, just ask them what their benefit packages are. If they don't offer health insurance, why? It's really concerning if you're a full-time employee and they're not offering you what the standard benefits are as far as time off, PTO, health insurance, 401k for your retirement. Really be sure that you understand what you're getting at, and especially if you're leaving somewhere else, make sure that you compare and contrast those benefits before you move anywhere. Okay, number 15. It's the number you've all been waiting for, and I know you know what I'm talking about, okay? If there are no people of color in the leadership team, or the team that you are going to work in is relatively heterogeneous, like there's no individuals of other backgrounds, even if it's not yours, right? Sometimes that may really matter to you. You want to make sure that there's other Black professionals there, especially in leadership. But I would say if you look around and there are no people that have some color on their skin, it's probably a really big concern, because even if they are generally nice people, it may mean that they're really not looking to really support individuals of diverse backgrounds. So just be really careful about that, because you want to ensure that it's really a safe place for you, and that you don't really deal with any other things as it relates to microaggressions or not being able to move forward or just straight up racism. Okay, so y'all hang in there. So it's the bonus. Woo! Okay, I promised you an extra bonus tip to really help you make sure that you know about these red flags before you start the job. And so the best way to do this is make sure that you ask specific questions around these as you go through the process, and don't wait until after you've signed your offer letter or even right up to the offer letter stage, because you want to make sure that you have all of the correct information to move forward and find out whether or not this is the position that you want, or you're going to really put in effort elsewhere. Put in effort elsewhere. So things like asking about, what's your turnover rate? What are your work hours? Can you share with me more about your benefits? What's the salary range for this position? What are the professional development opportunities? Like, every single red flag that I listed in here could be turned into a question that you can really get some clear answers on, especially in the interview. And you definitely want to ask about, what are your initiatives or programs around diversity, equity, and inclusion here? I would really like to know. Do it. Okay, so those were my 15 red flags. I want to know from you, did I miss any red flags? If I did, share with me in the comments what you thought I missed, or things that you just really want to share with others that you feel are really good things to consider before accepting an offer, because we're all in this together. Okay. I shared a lot of ways that you can really make sure that you're making a good move in your career. And one of the other things that you can do is to make sure that you are making some power plays in your career, that you're really engaging and making sure that you're advancing to the next level, right? Your career doesn't just happen. So for those of you who are out there and you know that you want to make some powerful plays to really live your best career life, all about that career success life, I really encourage you to join me in the Black Professionals Playbook coaching program. It is a 3-month coaching program, and I work with you one-on-one to help get you from where you are to your dream job and really help you build the life that you want around your career. So if you are interested, I will link to how to schedule a call with me below, and I would absolutely love to talk to you. That is it. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that you use these tips to really make great decisions in your career as far as your next employer, right? Because like I said, you never want to go from one toxic employer from another. You want to go up and beyond. So if you like this video and you want to see more of my lovely face, make sure that you subscribe and tap the bell so you can get notified when I release new videos. Also, if you found it helpful, definitely share this with a friend or somebody that you think would benefit in their career, and like the video. It really helps get the word out and helps other Black professionals get these same resources. So I will see you next time, and until then, I hope that you are moving forward and you're all about that career success life. Bye.